Shall we all kneel? Lord, we would like to thank you for good deed that you give each one of us. Thank you also for the blessing that we receive each day of good health and strength to overcome the struggles in our life. Thank you also, Lord, for this Sabbath day that we able to gather here together to worship and praise you. Lord, as we continue our Sabbath school program, we invite your holy presence be upon each one of us. Please the part and the participant as they return their part. Please also the congregation as they listen to your word. We pray also, Lord, to prepare our hearts and minds so that this program be valuable unto us. Thank you, Lord, for hearing and answering our prayer. Forgive from all our sins. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
So, we will acknowledging these visitors of ours from Phil American Church USA. We have Ma'am Lorna Lapid. Can you please stand up for us to recognize? Ma'am, welcome to Upper Mountain Center Church. Next on the list, we have Remo Piggy family from Athena, Pami. Apa sila? Okay, ma'am. Welcome to Upper Room. Next, we have Lovely Hugo from Pagadian City. Apa si ma'am? So, next is we have Kim Kaayaman from Mati City. Wala, maulaw. Next, we have Mercy. We have Ronnie Mamakos and Raquel Mamakos from Talomo. Are you still here? Can you please stand for us to recognize? We have brother and sister Lachika, brother and sister Aguilar. Are you here? Brother and sister Lachika. Okay, welcome to the Upper Room Fellowship Center. Brother and sister Aguilar.
Here we are.
Yes, sir. Welcome, ma'am, sir, to the Upper Room Fellowship Center. We have here our speaker, Ma'am Reva Moore. Okay, ma'am, welcome. Thank you for the inspiring words. So, those whose names are not listed in our guest book, you are welcome all to our Sabbath School program sa Upper Room Fellowship Center Church. So, basig mag-wonder mo, our divine service is our first service, and our Sabbath School is our second service. So, the parts and participants of our program this morning are as follows. Our inspiration and our opening song was led to us by our praise team, led by Ma'am Janet Tabali. And our opening prayer was offered to God by Smart Vasquez. After my part will be the second. I know. We are blessed, no, sa kung bata ganiha. He gave the meditation. So he is free-flow with Datong Puti. So they have already their part last Sabbath. So ako give sila ipabalik. Kaya kani mga pata-active din sila. This is their training ground, no? Para ma-train ato ang mga youth. After the Secretary's report given by Janela Palabrica, we'll have the special song to be given to us by the couple's harmony. Then the promotional talk by Brother Kirby Punay. Then the intermission song by the Datong Puti Kids. Then the mission story about the little missionaries. Then the intermission song again by the couple's harmony, and we have our lesson study. So, to those who are new in the church, who are first timers, so we have here namin itong kabato itatag sa front. So, these are prayers na include na to sa itong prayer warriors. One that is with Walter, those are personal prayers that you wanted to be prayed by our ministers. And those na naan sa bato without water, those are names that you wanted na i-pray sa itong prayer warriors. So you can choose the two. Then, our closing prayer will be given to us by one of our chaplain. So, before I sit down, there are announcements here. So we are happy that the alumni of Adventist University of the Philippines, they call themselves OISNA, which is Alumni of Western North America. They are here. They will be here February 11, 12, and 13. So they will be going to have a free clinic. So kinsa kung gusto benefits at free clinic. We have free clinic February 11 and 12 sa Talumo Gym. So, time is from 9 a.m. 9 to 2. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So, you can go there. So, kay natin mga doctors, mga nurses, mga medical practitioners nga maghatag voluntarily sa ilahang time nga mag-free clinic ta 2 days in Talumo Gym and 1 day in February 13 here in Bangkal is the church. Kaya dihapon sila maghimo sa crusade. So as what our president i-announce niya kaganina, we are begging also for your prayer for this crusade and for this activity nga mahimo siya nga panalangin, no, sa atong mga kaisuunan sa atong palibot. And also we have also cater minor surgeries katong may mga cysts. So na minor surgeries nga pagabuhaton diri sa hospital lang, dili dito sa free clinic area, dili lang sa hospital. So if you are interested, please let your names ipalista na to kay Ma'am Ersaba. Kung namoy gusto, cyst lang ha, cyst extraction, removal of cyst. So kung naay gusto mo avail, so then have her name that list in Ma'am Ersaba. So napod tayo, actually na-screen na niya siya. We have thyroidectomy, pero na-screen na siya, no? Ato ang nagipang-announce the other month pa, na-screen siya before natin siya operahan. So we have already 3 names, no? Na maka-benefit with aning missionary work. So we are blessed na the Adventist Hospital Davao, together with the Upper Room Fellowship Center Church, magipili ta ani nga group na maka-benefit pud ta sa ilahang pag-ministry. O labi na kung naway mga silingan, no, para maka-benefit pud sila. And another announcement, so kabalo naman siguro talo na ang Davao is kanang bitawang commotion niya ito ni aking simana na no backpack policy. So, I know, sa di man po siguro tayo na no, na magdala tao, dili maayong butang, pero reminder lang na siya, kung wherever you go to the mall, to asang establishment sa Davao, it is prohibited to bring your backpack with you. So, announcement lang na siya. So, I hope that we will be blessed this Holy Sabbath today. And before I sit down, I would just like to read this as a reminder to all of us. It says, while you complain about your electric bill, there's someone with no home. While you complain about your job, there's someone praying for $1. While you complain about the food in your pantry, there's someone praying for some food to eat. While you complain about life, there's someone who didn't make up today. Your complaints are simply blessings to others. Be grateful and thankful to God every day. I hope that we will be blessed this program this Sabbath day.
Good morning and happy Sabbath, brethren. This morning, I will be presenting to you the Sabbath School Report, last February 2, 2019. Kindly look at the screen to see the performance of each class represented with the color in the graph. The Gopher class is represented by black, sycamore red, juniper brown, cypress green, cedar blue, olive white, and youth yellow. For our attendance, Gopher has 9, sycamore 17, juniper 11, cypress 16, cedar 9, olive 20, and youth has 11. We have a total of 93 attendants present last Sabbath. For our visitor, sycamore has 5, juniper and cypress have 4, cedar 3, olive 7, while Gopher and youth have no record. We have a total of 23 visitors last Sabbath. For our offerings, Gopher offered 290 pesos, sycamore 204 and 40 and youth 210 pesos. The total offering has amounted to 2,365 pesos. For Bibles brought, Gopher and Youth have 3, Sycamore 12, Juniper, Cypress, Cedar, and Olive have 4. We have a total of 34 Bibles brought last Sabbath. For Sabbath school lesson, Gopher has 7, Sycamore 12, Juniper 6, Cypress, Cedar, and Youth have 4, and Olive has 2. We have a total of 39 Sabbath school lessons brought last Sabbath. For the Children's Division Sabbath School Report, here's the graph of their performance last Sabbath. Cradle is represented by color blue, Kinder green, primary yellow, and juniors red. For the attendance, Cradle has 9, Kinder 6, primary and juniors have 21. Their total attendance is 57. For the visitors, Cradle has 1, primary has 2, while others have no record. They have a total of 3 visitors last Sabbath. For the offerings, Cradle offered 168 pesos, Kinder 120 pesos, primary 240 pesos, and juniors offered 190 pesos. They have a total of 718 pesos offered. For Bibles bought, Cradle has 3, Kinder and primary have 2, and juniors has 9. They have a total of 18 Bibles bought last Sabbath. For lessons brought, Cradle has 2, Kinder 3, primary 5, and juniors has 12. They have a total of 22 lessons brought last Sabbath. Reminders to each class: kindly fill out the necessary data in our Sabbath school record. Thank you and thanks.
morning and happy Sabbath to everyone. It's so good to be able to join you this morning and be able to worship with you and to be able to share just a short message for everyone. I was asked by Mom Beverly to share with you just a little promotional talk. And I was thinking about what to share. And she said that this week it will be about investments. But before that, I'd like to welcome our visitors this morning. Happy Sabbath po. Welcome to our church. We surely praise the Lord for sending you here. And we are truly honored that you chose this place, our hospital, our church, to be able to join together in worship. I'd like also to thank Ma'am Reva, who is here with us. Ma'am Reva, we surely appreciate your team and your group for your help with our mission and our workers. Thank you very much. And so as I was thinking about what I'm going to share with you this morning, and when Mom Beverly said that it is about investment, I was reminded of a time in my life where I was actively reading, researching, and even participating in investments, stocks. I also invested in a lot of things, you know. And so I was reading and I was learning new things every day. By the way, just a disclaimer, I am not an endorser of trading, nor am I a financial advisor. Please don't take me for that. The point of the message this morning is totally different. But I'm just going to share this with you because I learned something from my experience with trading. You see, as I was researching, as I was reading, as I was learning, you know that in different professions, we have different lingos, diba? Natay lahi-lahi na mga vocabularies na ginagamit. When we go with the nurses, when I am with the nurses, sometimes mag-ano po, sa tawag ka na, sa gayang terms na ginagamit sa nurses sa nosebleed, epistaxis, ma'am no? Nosebleed ko because they always use terms na I'm not very familiar of. And so when you also go, pag si Ma'am Tunetsad, pag si Ma'am Tunetsad mag-present sa iyang financial report, murag, amo sa dyan siyang kumparo, no? Kaya lahis din sa ang mga terminologies. And so as I was reading, in the world of trading, there are also different terminologies. And I found one word to be very interesting because somehow, as I was also trying to, relate with it. By the way, right now, I'm not active, no? But as I was trying to relate with it, in my spiritual experience, in my spiritual journey, I learned something which I could also relate to lessons on investment, but not on investing money, but on our investments to God. Whether it be our money, whether it be our talents, treasure, our different, when it comes to stewardship. And you know what's the word? The word is FUD. F-U-D. And everybody say that with me. FUD. F-U-D. FUD. Basically, the word FUD is an acronym. I don't know if you have encountered this word, but FUD is an acronym for 3 words. F stands for fear, U stands for uncertainty, and D stands for doubt. You see, in the trading world, I'm not really very familiar, but just in my experience, you see, when you plan on investing on a certain stock, let's just say, or a certain company, and people who don't want you to invest in that company would start sharing FUD. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. What's the reason for it? Probably to cause commotion, anong dili ka invest dito, or to just shake things up, no, para mahadlo ka. That's why it's called fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They would create news, propagandas, so that mahadlo ka na mo invest. No? And so, what I learned from this word is that it's very interesting because Satan does the very same thing when we plan on investing in God's kingdom. He shares fun. He shares to us fear. He shares to us uncertainty. And He gives us doubt. Fear. Nahadlok na niya sa mga butang na posibleng mahitabo, no? We fear in giving to Him. For example, when we have just enough to make it for the month, and then we are challenged by God to give a portion of our income as our tithe. And we are afraid because we are scared. Why? Makaya ba namo ni? Could we make it through even if we give? And he starts pointing this in our minds, no? But a verse in the Bible clearly contradicts this fear. According to 1 John 4 verse 18, the Bible tells us that there is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear. Now, I don't know about you, but when I think of those whom I love, especially, of course, my family, my wife, or my son, I usually, if ever, and I don't know if you feel the same way, parents, but if ever a time comes when, and usually, it just enters my mind, if ever a time comes where I would be asked to give my life for my family, I would not second thought. No, I would have no second thoughts. I would gladly give my life for my son, for my wife. Not that I want that to happen, but probably for you also, parents, who think of your children, who love your children this way. I know that you might also, that the feeling might probably be mutual. That you might also feel the same way. That when we love someone, we are willing to give and do everything for that person. Now, my love for my family is but little to the way God loves us. But in just this view, I'm thinking to myself, I'm imagining, if this is what love, if it is the definition of love, if what I'm feeling for my family, for my wife, for my child, if this is the definition of love, do I feel the same way to God? That if I would be willing to give everything to God without fear, do I also feel the same way to my family? Do I also feel the same way when I approach God? If perfect love casteth out fear, then if I fear God when I try to give something to Him, could it be possible that my love is not yet perfected in Him? Or I ask myself, na ako bang gugma sa Ginoo, tinuod ba jud ni? Kompleto ba jud ni ang akong gugma, or basig dili ni siya perfect pa? There is still something hindering me from loving God fully. Because if I can give everything to my family without hesitations, why is it that I could not give that to God as well? And so, when Satan presents us with fear, let us remember that God presents us with His love. And that His love casteth that fear. And so the question that I would like to share with you is that how much do you love God? And the way for you to be able to answer that is that when you try to give yourself to Him, everything, if you're afraid of doing that, could there be things hindering you from fully committing yourself to Him? The second word in the word "fad" is the word, first letter is U. It stands for uncertainty. And a song that I always remember, and it's one of my favorite songs, perfectly encapsulates what the Bible shares about our uncertainties. The truth is, while we're here, everything will be uncertain. It is because we do not see the future. And that's why the song, which is entitled, "I Know Who Holds Tomorrow," perfectly encapsulates the message that we are also bringing. If you know the song goes like this: I don't know about tomorrow, I just live for day to day. I don't borrow from my sunshine, for its skies may turn to gray. I don't worry o'er the future, for I know what Jesus said, and today I will walk beside Him, for He knows what lies ahead. Many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. Every step is getting brighter as the golden stairs I climb. Every burden is getting lighter. Where the mountains, every cloud is silver lined. There the sun is always shining. There no tear will dim the eye. At the ending of the rainbow, where the mountains touch the sky. Many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. And I really like that song as well, that says, trust His heart. God is too wise to be mistaken. God is too good to be undone. When you don't understand, when you don't see His plan, when you can't trace His hand, trust His heart. Our life is uncertain. We do not hold the future, but we know who does. And when we put our faith in Him, we do not have to worry about the future. And so when we plan to invest in God, it may be uncertain for the moment. But rest assured, when we give it to the Lord, He knows the future. And I believe that God will take care of our future. The third word in the word "fad" stands with the first letter, stands for doubt. Why do we doubt? Why do we doubt people? Why do we doubt? Because simply we don't trust them. Right? Or either we have not formed that type of relationship with them. When you don't know a person, dili ka basta-basta magpahulam og 100,000 sa iyaha. Di ba? Siguro kung bago pa siya sa imo, siguro okay na sa imo, pahulam ka 1,000, 2,000. But when you have formed a relationship with that person, kabalo ka nga, sige dyan siya utang sa imo ha, and you know that he is a reliable payer, siguro magkana mo kadako ang imong pwede ipautang sa iyaha. And I believe that when it comes to relationships, it's also the same. Why do we trust a person? No? Because we have learned, we have formed this trusting relationship with Him. And so why, when we ask ourselves that question, why do we doubt God? Why do we ask, or why do we doubt His goodness? Why do we doubt His plans for us? Could it be because that we have not tested Him? Could it be that the reason for that is because we have not formed a trusting relationship with Him? They say faith is like a muscle. The more we exercise our faith, the more it is strengthened. But according to our reading of Steps to Christ chapter 13 last night, doubt also does the same thing. Every time we give opportunity for doubt, our tendency to doubt is strengthened. And so it works both ways. So why do we doubt? Counsels for the Church, page 93, paragraph 4. Mrs. White shares to us a very interesting point about doubt. She said, Satan has the ability to suggest doubts and to devise objections to the appointed testimony that God sends. And many think it a virtue, a mark of intelligence in them to be unbelieving and to question and quibble. Those who desire to doubt will have plenty of room. God does not propose to remove all occasion for unbelief. He gives evidence which must be carefully investigated with a humble mind and a teachable spirit. And all should decide from the weight of evidence God gives weight of evidence. God gives sufficient evidence for the candid mind to believe. But he who turns from the weight of evidence, because there are a few things which he cannot make plain to his finite understanding, will be left in the cold, chilling atmosphere of unbelief and questioning doubts, and will make shipwreck of faith. 93, the next paragraph. It is Satan's plan to weaken the faith of God's people in the testimonies. Satan knows how to make his attacks. He works upon minds to excite jealousy and dissatisfaction towards those at the head of the earth. And so, when we give ourselves to God, when we invest ourselves to God, whether it be our money, whether it be our talents, our children perhaps, our future, Satan will present us with funds, with fear, with uncertainty, and with doubt. But the Bible clearly answers all of this. He answers our fears when we choose to love Him. He answers our uncertainties by telling us that He holds the future for us. And He answers by doubt by inviting us to trust in Him. Brothers and sisters, have you invested yourselves to God? Is there anything holding you back from fully trusting in Him? This morning, I would like to invite you to trust in God. You see, when I was reading, when I was studying, and then I was asking questions about, my business transactions before, in the end, when people, they would answer a few questions, but in the end, they would always use another word. And the word is DYOR. Do you know what that word stands for? It stands for do your own research. You see, in the field of investing in God, this is also what we need to do. People may teach us what is right, what is good, but at the end of the day, it will be our personal experiences, it will be our personal learnings, it will be our personal experiences of trust in God that would completely help us to learn to trust, to learn to love, to learn to dedicate ourselves to Him. So this is my challenge also for everyone. DYOR, do your own research and start investing in God. God bless us all.
they grow up, masigili na daw. So, I hope na they will be always as an instrument of ministry to Christ. So, thank you also to Kirby for the promotional talk, which is timely for us, no? May daghan kayong naglipana ng mga imbisanan karon sa mga tao. The question is, how much of our time nga i-invest natin sa Ginoo? So this time, we will have our mission story. I hope that this will inspire us in our personal ministry with God.
Welcome to the country of Georgia, a small nation in Eastern Europe that was once part of the Soviet Union. Located between Turkey and Russia and along the Black Sea, Georgia is home to some 4 million people. The country is famous for its grapes and a type